we are going to have a look at Sega's arcade game Future Spy, released in 1984. It was published by Sega in Japan and Europe, by Bally Midway in the US and by Sonic in Spain. And I'm not entirely sure why the game is called Future Spy, because there is little to no spying going on in the game, nor does it look like it's taking place in the future. A better name would probably be Future Carpet Bomber maybe, because you are flying an F-15 and destroying anything and everything that is getting in your way, whether it's on the ground or in the air. The game has probably taken some inspiration from Namco Sevius when it comes to how the bombing works. Now this game is quite rare, and the reason for that is that it was only released as a conversion kit for Saxon. So supposedly no dedicated cabinets were ever made, and this was probably a way for Sega to reuse their old Saxon PCBs they had in stock. Now Saxon wasn't actually developed by Sega themselves. They commissioned a shadow developer to do both software and hardware development. In this case a company called Ikegami, which mainly sold broadcast equipment, but during the 70s and 80s they also worked with game development for various Japanese gaming publishers. They actually also developed both software and hardware for Nintendo's Donkey Kong arcade game. Now there's no sign of Ikegami being involved in the development of Future Spy, and according to Sega Retro, the game was developed by Sega's AM1 team. Now I haven't been able to absolutely confirm this, nor have I been able to find out specifically which people were involved in development, but the AM1 team worked with many Sega games over the years, including titles such as Wave Runner, The House of the Dead, Die Hard Arcade, Sega Bass Fishing, and many more. It does seem fairly likely that Sega developed Future Spy by themselves to try and repurpose their old Saxon PCBs. And the game is sharing the same sound effects as in Saxon, and it's also sharing the axonometric perspective. And it's also possible that the hardware limited development of the game somewhat, but enough said about that, let's just dive in. And there's apparently some issues with the audio being incorrectly emulated in this game in MAME, and it's using samples, that's probably why. And I think Saxon and this game uses some sort of analog sound generation, so they probably haven't found a way of emulating that. So yeah, I'm not really sure what the problem is, but the sound effects to me seems to sound exactly like they did in Saxon. But let's insert some coins and let's go. Bombing, carpet bombing even, the future. We need to blast some of these filthy helicopters to start out with. We've got some U-boats to blow out of the water, and as you can see the game looks pretty nice. It's I think had I seen this back in the day I would have been pretty impressed by it. And control wise it's not as Saxon, because in Saxon you could go up and down, you could change your altitude. You can't do that here. You can just control your fighter at one set altitude, but you do have the ability to bomb the ground, which reminded me of Sevius. So yeah, and that's it. You can fire a machine gun with fire and secondary fire. Oh damn! Drops bombs. Simple stuff. And then we got this kind of strange, like, night mode that happens every now and then. And I'm not sure, the manual describes this differently. It's not described as a night mode. I don't quite remember, really, what it's supposed to be, but I think you need to complete this section here. I don't exactly know how, but if you don't complete it, you will have to replay the stage or something. See if I can get it done, see what ends up happening here. And it's a little bit annoying how there's invisible walls. You can't go very far back or to the I think the right side, because there's invisible walls there, and that just throws me off quite a great deal, because I expect to be able to move further than I can. For instance, this is as far back as I can go, and this is as far as I can go to the right, so that's a little bit irritating at times. I do like that we're firing off torpedoes here. That's pretty cool and satisfying. So it feels like a pretty simplified Saxon-like game, and I definitely would say that I Saxon made a much bigger impact on me back in the day. Had I seen this one back in the day, I think I would have been impressed by the graphics, but you know, not as much as I was by seeing Saxon for the first time. That game still looks brilliant to this day, in my opinion. It's got a certain atmosphere that is really gorgeous, and I'm not sure why I blow up there. Is there anything there? These Zeppelins seems to be doing kamikaze runs here. Yeah, and the enemies are really annoying. Some of them will go for you. Others are kind of like moving randomly or just straight ahead. And yeah, let's see if we can get this done here. We can't blow up the icebergs, which is a little bit sad, I must admit. And the hit detection is also a little bit wonky. It seems like sometimes you're hitting things and they don't get destroyed, and other times you're not hitting them and they get destroyed. So yeah, there's a little bit wonkiness going on. I get the distinct feeling that the game was probably a bit rushed or limited by the fact that this had to run on Saxon hardware. And really? Yeah, I'm not paying attention here. Oh, come on! Gameplay definitely feels a little bit lacking, I must admit. I do like that there's these kind of target circles that show up. That's supposed to help you avoid the missiles, but honestly, you kind of forget to look for them, and sometimes they don't seem to quite be placed right. You think you avoid them, but you're not really, and then you blow up. So, yeah. I think this game could have used a little bit more time in the oven, to be perfectly honest. But is it terrible? Well, no, not really. Let's see if we can blow up this thing. Oh, no, don't. Get away from me, you horrible things. And I keep thinking I can move further than I can. Oh, get out of my freaking way, you silly Zeppelins. So it feels like they just expanded the Saxon space stage where you get attacked by those fighters. If you play the game, you know what I'm talking about. Jesus, I can't move any further ahead than this either. That's also really, really annoying. But I'm really happy that they didn't add an altitude meter, a way to change your altitude, because that would be super annoying in this game, for sure. And it's interesting also that since this game was actually a Saxon conversion kit, you would find Future Spy cabinets that had the Saxon control panel, because I don't think they made a replacement control panel. They only made a replacement marquee. There was no bezel as far as I know. I think you could remove, I suppose, the bezel, the Saxon bezel. But you would find cabinets that had the Saxon control panel remaining on the Future Spy game. Ah, man, it's getting a little bit tricky, this. Is it fun? Ooh, yeah, well, I mean, again, as I think I have mentioned, the gameplay does feel a little bit lacking. It just feels a little bit meh, if you know what I mean. And there's not a lot of variation, and it's just, yeah. Maybe there's some interesting stages further ahead, who knows? Finding it a little bit tough also to hit the, oh god damn it, the boats with my torpedoes. And I think this game rather quickly disappeared into oblivion. Not many people know about this game, whereas Saxon is considered a timeless classic, even though I know that some people still find Saxon to be a bit annoying to play. That gameplay is a little bit annoyingly tricky at times, and I can kind of see what they mean. The reason why I like Saxon is mostly because it's just such a amazingly looking game. It's just something incredibly compelling about it. The visuals just makes me go, wow, I want to explore it. There's definitely more or games with better gameplay, I would say, than Saxon. Even I would admit that, even though I do find Saxon to be fascinating. The sound effects are also getting a little bit old, I must say, a little bit annoying. They weren't that great in Saxon, and they are certainly not doing a better job here. No, don't touch. No, God, get away from me. Annoying crosshairs. Oh, and the helicopters. Oh, the helicopters. How I hate thee. I feel like singing a song about it, but I promise I won't do that. And you are running out of space quite quickly in the game due to the limited play area, which still annoys me, even though I'm getting slightly more used to it now. And I keep missing to look for the circles here that should help me out with the annoying projectiles or the missiles that it keeps chasing after me. I just forget about them. And then I, of course, pay the price and get sunk. Well, not sunk really, shot down maybe? Oh, there's a tanker there. Eat bombs, you lousy capitalist scum. And you can shoot down the missiles. That is nice. I did not know that. At least not those kind of missiles. Can I hit this? Oh yes, I think I... get away from me. I think I got it. I was so busy avoiding stuff. Oh, what the hell is that? I don't think I've ever seen that before. Is that a... Okay. That is something I did not expect. What the frickin'... What the hell is this? Is this a space fighter all of a sudden? And this is just a little bit too fast. Yeah, come on. Get away from me. What the hell are these things? What's going on? Is this some sort of nightmare? A pilot's worst nightmare? Did not expect this. This is more like sci-fi shooter all of a sudden. Get away. And look at the patterns here. I hate them so much. Oh. So that's probably why I didn't get here before. The fact that I did not destroy that big carrier thing or whatever it is. Let's try this one more time because now I'm intrigued. Oh, I hate how the attack patterns are so annoying. Oh, he came back from... Felt like that guy had left the screen. I thought I was rid of him, but nope. These damn helicopters are so determined. Really don't have any love for them whatsoever. No, don't. Oh, he's escaping, the bastard. Oh, really? I'm 100% sure I hit that thing, but nope. Oh, yeah, this is pretty tricky. But it did get a little bit interesting with that new stage. Maybe there's a more interesting new stage, I don't really know. This is as far as I got in the game, and I think I'm ready to give up. It's definitely not a terrible game, but it does feel a bit lacking, both in the visual department and in the gameplay department. I mean, the game does look nice, but compared to Saxon, and yeah, I think there is a pretty good reason why this game is kind of forgotten. It's rare, but not particularly sought after as far as I know, and I think you can find it relatively easy on eBay if you want to pick up a PCB. But don't expect to be blown away by gameplay. And I don't think you will be surprised when I tell you that there's no home conversions of this game. But it does show up as an unlockable game in the SEGA Mega Drive collection on PlayStation 2 and PSP. And I assume that's just an emulated game, so it's probably going to be pretty exactly like the arcade. So I haven't captured any footage of it because I would need to unlock it, and yeah, there would be quite a lot of work involved in trying to capture footage. So I'm not going to do that. Sorry. But still, I hope you enjoy this quick peek at this rare and somewhat obscure game, and thanks for watching and all that stuff. And as always, hope to catch you next time. Cheers!